Okay. Hoo, 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 hoo. All right. So, wow, it's such a beautiful day today, no?
It is like every day here in Tulum.
Wow, it's so nice. I mean, usually it's a bit windy. It's not too bad today. The water is really blue. There's a little bit of seaweed on the beach, but that's fine. Beautiful people, beautiful location. Loving it. Loving the weather. Loving everything today. Yeah, feeling good. The skies are nice blue, white, painted. So, so yeah. All right, let's get into it. So, can you tell us about yourself? What brought you to Tulum? Like, what brought you here? Why are you here? What was it? Was it? Do you feel you came here on your own, or do you feel Tulum kind of brought you here, or was it a combination of both? What would you say?
Yeah, actually, the reason that I'm here is I started to do a mentoring or a coaching. Let's say it like this.
Well, first, let's introduce yourself. Let us know who you are.
Who I am. I'm Philip, 31 years old. I'm from Germany. I'm living here in Mexico since almost 2 years because I'm an expat. I'm working here for Mercedes Benz. We have a car factory over here in Mexico.
Oh, there's a car factory, a
Yeah.
Mercedes car
Yeah.
factory. Nice.
Yeah, it's a new project, so that's the reason why I'm here. My company sent me here to this project, and I'm project leader in the quality team.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Mercedes is a German company, right?
It's a German company, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And when I went to Europe, I seen a lot of Mercedes, and they're kind of they're more affordable in Europe than they are in places like Mexico and America. Is that because of import fees or taxes?
Yeah,
would you
yeah.
say?
It's definitely because of the fees and the taxes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think is Mercedes a luxury car in Europe?
Yeah, yeah,
Similar, you would say?
yeah. It's a premium brand,
Premium
Yeah.
brand. Okay.
like Porsche or BMW. Also, is a
Okay.
German premium brand. Yeah.
All right, nice. So what is it that you do for Mercedes?
Now it's my first time in the quality department. I'm project leader. I have to implement some quality loops there to improve the quality which is going out of the production.
Okay.
Yeah, so a pretty technical orientated job, let's say it like this.
Right. And
Yeah.
you know what? Germans are really, I mean, I don't really like to stereotype, but you Germans really know how to be precise with your engineering,
Yeah,
your cars,
definitely.
your technology. It's super. Why do you think that is?
I think this is because of the Second World War. After the Second World War, they had to get the economy back on the track. They were working hard. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Why Germans are like super structured, super organized, and we definitely have one of the best engineers in the world, I would say.
Was it like this before the World War, or?
Yeah, I guess Germans always have been like that. But I think the Second World War, or what happened after the Second World War, that they had to build up the country as fast as possible. I think they became more structured, more organized, and working their asses off. Let's say it like this.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows that if something is German engineered, it's probably good quality.
It is.
I think there's also a reputation to uphold with German engineering and German production. It's super precise, and yeah, even when I travel and when I meet a lot of Germans, whenever they say, "Hey, we're gonna meet at a specific time," you're there at that
Yeah,
specific
bro.
time. If you're a few seconds late, it's like, dude, where are you? If you're a minute, it's crazy. How does that feel being in Mexico, where things are so much more different, so much more laid back?
It's crazy. We are struggling a lot with that. I mean, this was clear from the beginning on that you have those cultural differences. So I think this is the toughest or hardest challenge in this project, that we have those two completely different cultures. And the thing is also that this project is also with Japanese. It's a joint venture.
Okay.
Company. So we are building up their Infinity premium cars. This is from Nissan, like the premium brand from them.
Right.
So actually we have 3 different cultures,
Okay.
and this is like a crazy mix, but yeah, I'm learning a lot there.
Yeah, I think also with Japanese, there's the same. The quality and the build of Japanese products are also similar.
Yeah, they have good quality, but their work ethic is different than the ones from the German.
Really, what would you say? What's the difference?
They have this mindset like when your boss stays longer, or you cannot leave before your boss left.
Okay.
So this is, for me, this don't make sense because they are not really productive. They are just staying there. They are not really efficient. They just stay there, sleeping in the meetings and all that stuff. So this is different. And we Germans, we have this mindset like, okay, those are my to-dos for today or my tasks. And when I finish them, I can leave. I mean, there's also private life. You should not only live to work.
Right.
You should work to live.
Yeah, it's work smarter, not harder or longer even, right? If you're there, you're not doing anything. So why even be there?
Exactly. But this is the difference of the mindset, what I spoke about. So I don't like it. I do my stuff, and when I'm done, I go. I mean, I will enjoy my free time.
Right. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
You should only be there when it's kind of like when you're working and I saw this meme the other day where the boss was like to one of his employees, he was like, "Why are you not working?" And he was like, "Because I didn't see you."
Exactly. Yeah, this meme is on point.
Right?
Yeah.
Usually when your boss is coming, you're like, "Oh," you put down your games, you change your computer screen because you're being watched.
Yeah.
And it sucks for productivity because that's how it is when you're in an office space. You're there for 8 hours, but you don't really get 8 hours of work done.
No, I mean, bro, there are a lot of studies that human beings are not able to be productive for more than 4 or 5 hours. I think that's it, pretty much it.
Yeah, that reminds me of the book, The 4-Hour Work Week, right? Or something like that, where we have this mindset where you have to be at this place and get as much work done as possible, and it doesn't work that way.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
For me, not.
Yeah,
for me, not.
We're not machines. Yeah, we're not Germans. Yeah. So can you tell us more about like German what it's like to work in a Mercedes factory as a German, and so is it precise? Is it how is it different structured from, say, Japanese or Mexico?
I would say we have like a different meeting culture, definitely. So Germans are very on point. So when we schedule a meeting, we definitely have a target that we want to achieve after we finish the meeting. And Japanese and also Mexicans, they have meetings to just discuss stuff. But at the end of the meeting, it's like, hey boys, what's the conclusion now? What's the plan? Did we achieve the target? What we gonna do next? So yeah, I think this is pretty much why we are so efficient and so precise, because we have a plan and we don't leave before we achieve this target, this goal.
Right. Yeah, I think it's this thing where we have also in the States too, where we have a meeting to talk about a meeting about a meeting. Exactly. And it's like, what are we really talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of people just hate this. You're having meetings and meetings, but you're not getting anything done. It's just a bunch of talk.
Yeah, exactly. No, those are time wasters. So that's the reason. I mean, Mexicans, they have working contracts with 46 hours a week.
Okay.
This is like 11 hours a day, more or less. So yeah, I mean, that's exactly the reason why they have those long days, because they have a lot of meetings. They are not really productive in those times. And my boss actually here, he's a very young guy. He's 28, and he has this new mindset directly coming out of the university now. Okay. So he's more like less meetings and more of those things that bring us forward.
What are some of those things that bring us forward?
Like the tasks we are having, he's either going into the line and solving the problem directly in the line, instead of having a bunch of meetings and discussing how we gonna go solve the problem. And he's more like the guy, okay, let's go in the line, let's see the problem there, and let's make a plan.
It's more practical.
Yeah, for sure. And this is how things work. And this is how you have like, a fast issue or problem solving process.
So your boss comes in and actually handles and fixes the problem instead of
No, he not. But I mean, he's the leader. We have a pretty
okay.
new work ethic or a different culture right now. Like everything is more like a startup feeling in our office. We are all
Okay.
placed together. It's not like in the past in Germany that everyone has his desks. We have desks we share, and yeah. And when there's a problem, he's like, no meetings about this problem. Let's take the whole team and let's go into the line and let's see the problem there. Let's make some notes, and then later on we work on the problem solving process.
So, can you give us an example of something of a problem that you can think of that happened where your boss came in and tried to do exactly what you're saying, where he came in and said, "Hey, we have a problem. Let's go in and let's look at it and let's try to solve it right here." And
Yeah, for example, I'm responsible for the whole marriage area, which is where you marry the underfloor of the car, like the powertrain, together with the body.
okay,
So we call it marriage because you put those two things together, and then you have a real car. Before it's only the underfloor with all the engine, the powertrain, and all that stuff, the suspension, and then you bring the body. And we are struggling a lot at the moment with problems over there. So yeah, I think pretty much every morning he comes in and say, okay, let's go to the marriage area. Let's see what's going on. Let's see which parts are not maintained, because most of the time it's only because of missing or lack of maintenance. Yeah, and I think this is also caused by the Mexicans. They are super chilled. And in Germany, it's like when the employee in the line sees an issue in his work area, he has to report it.
mm-hmm.
And directly the maintenance team will come and will fix it. But here it's like we detect something in the morning, and the next morning it's still there, but we report it already to the maintenance team. So it's like they are super chilled. They are like, okay, I know, I will do this later. I mean, you're living here now, you know this ahorita. When they say it, ahorita.
Right.
Ahorita.
What does ahorita mean for you?
It pretty much means everything. It can be right now, but it can also mean like in 2 weeks, or also never. And most of the time it's never.
Never. Yeah. Or yeah, whenever I feel like it. That's what I always think. It's
Yeah.
just like I'll do it ahorita. It's like
Yeah.
when I feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wow. So and then you have Mexican, you have Japanese, and you have German. What about the Japanese side? You said they're more. So you said they're more just they're kind of stretching their time until their boss leaves, and the Mexicans are there and they're kind of just taking their time and going with the flow. And what would you say are some strengths of some of the Japanese or the Mexicans? What do they do really well that maybe Germans don't do, or that you can think of that, or maybe that Germans do, but that you can say like, wow, okay, they're really good at this? Or
to be honest, Mexicans are also super good engineers. But But the problem here is the mindset. It's definitely the mindset. I would not say that they are worse than German engineers, or that German engineers are better.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not. They have really good engineers here. They have good universities. But the thing here with the Mexicans is the mindset. And for me, there's a correlation with religion.
Okay.
Because they are really hierarchy triggered. Like when my boss don't tell me do it, I will not do it. So they don't think by their own. It's like when God don't tell me what to do, I will not do it.
So they sit there at their desk waiting for a sign from a higher source.
This
kind of.
And also they are, Germans, I make a lot of decisions by my own, and not speak with and I'm not speaking with my boss about it. Like this is how I was trained in the past in my work life. Like when you see something and you know how to fix it, just take the decision and do it. And Mexicans, they have good ideas, but I think they don't have the courage to do it. They are always like going to their supervisor and asking, hey, can I do it like this? And then they have again a meeting to discuss it. And I mean, I'm sure if they would take action and would take over the responsibility, okay, I know how to fix it. I will fix it how I think I have to fix it. And that's pretty much it.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely a mindset, like a mindset thing you said.
Yeah, it's definitely mindset.
Yeah. It's just being able to take personal responsibility for an act. I guess they don't want to get in trouble for something. They don't want to do something, do it wrong, and then get in trouble for it. Or in a sense, do you feel that as you know, as a German, when you go in and you say, hey, I see a problem, I don't wait for my boss, or I just fix the problem right there. Why do you feel that is? What is different? Do you feel that if even if you did make a mistake, would you still be okay with it, or do you feel that it's just more of a confidence thing, like I can handle it?
No, to be honest, for me, I think there are no mistakes or errors in life that you can do. For me, it's just feedback. I call it like that. I don't like the word like, oh shit, I did a mistake.
Right.
It's feedback.
That's
I mean,
nice.
you do something, maybe it works out, you are fine.
Right.
If it don't works out like you did it, you know, okay, was not the right way how I did it this time, but next time I will definitely do it different. So
Okay.
this is kind of my mindset I have right now. I did also a lot of stuff in the past in my working life that was not good, but this is why I have this experience right now. And I mean, this is also the mindset from Mercedes Benz. There are no mistakes or errors that you did. You just grow and you learn how to do it better next time. I would say it like this.
Right, but what I'm also saying is that that's great. That's great that you can have that mindset. Do you think that the way the culture here in Mexico and some other places where these people don't have that mindset, is it because maybe they were raised that if that they were thinking that it is a mistake and they were reprimanded, hey, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. Do you feel that maybe growing up or being in that Mercedes Benz culture where there is no mistakes, hey, you tried, and let's try to improve on that, where maybe when the work culture here in Mexico is, hey, you made a mistake, you're fired, or hey, you made a mistake, don't do that again, or where it's a different mindset here maybe.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I cannot talk in general about Mexicans because
Right.
I'm only living in a small state which is called Aguas Calientes.
Okay.
So I can only talk about those peoples there. And Aguas Calientes is Nissan territorium. So Nissan has 3 car factories over there. And I think they only worked with Japanese in the past. So they pretty much took over this mindset, like everything is hierarchy triggered. And yeah, I think it's that. But I see that they are improving now because now we have the company with Germans and Japanese. So I see they are moving forward with their mindset, but you still see it when you ask them that, why you didn't took the decision. You were on the right way. You did great. So next time, be more confident and do it.
Right.
You see that they are like super shocked, like, wow, really? You think? And I'm why you are not confident with your experience? You are smart. You are a super good engineer. So just use all your skills you're having.
Yeah, I think that's a super great point that people don't have that confidence in certain places, like maybe here in Mexico or other places around the world, where they have this ability, they have the smart, the knowledge, but they don't have that confidence. And maybe it's the way they were raised, maybe it's the culture, maybe it was where they were working at before. Yeah, that's super interesting. And so there's a Nissan factory here. What would you say is the difference between like Nissan and Mercedes? What makes a Mercedes maybe not better, but more of a different brand? What would you say are the differences?
The thing is that Mercedes Benz is definitely a premium car brand.
Premium.
And Nissan is producing cars for like mid-segment or like for everyone, let's say it like this. So they don't have all those safety systems in the cars, and they are not like that high-tech like Mercedes cars are right now.
Okay.
For example, the car we are building over there, together with the Mercedes model we are building in this factory, it is like the Mercedes cars, let's say 8 years ago. They don't have that much controller units in the car, not that much displays, safety systems. So that's pretty much why Mercedes is a very complex product.
So Mercedes, the difference between a Mercedes premium car and a Nissan car is the quality, the technology in it.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
So a Nissan car doesn't have. So what kind of technology would you say that a Mercedes has that a Nissan doesn't? So the safety features, the able to track the detection and
No, this is pretty much like basic safety systems you have nowadays in every car.
right.
Nissan are also super safe cars, but Mercedes has these, let's say, like gadgets and super fancy stuff right now, like augmented reality camera, multi-purpose camera. You have a lot of stuff. You can talk with your Mercedes. I don't know if you saw it, like with Siri, you are talking like with your phone, with your car.
Yeah.
So, hey, Mercedes, and the car is answering you. And so those kind of things are not in the Nissan model we are building over there. For sure, they have also other models where they have more technology in. But in the one we are building up in Aguas Calientes, no. So that's the reason why a Mercedes car is super complex. We have like almost 100 different controller units. And the Nissan car has more or less 20. So we have 5 times more. Everything is super complex.
So that's where the price comes in. The price difference is more
yeah, and also we have different quality standards from the outside. Let's say it like this. We have different tolerances for gap and flash and yeah.
Right. Okay. Nice. And how did you get started in this? Did you went to school for engineering and you got into Mercedes, and what is the culture like growing up in Germany, and why did you get into this with your family? And
yeah, usually I think it's pretty much similar to the United States, that you go to high school, later on you go to a university if you want, but we also have this other kind of system in Germany where you can do an apprenticeship after you left high school.
Okay.
Yeah, so my plan was I was in the military service of Germany, and my plan was to stay with them. I signed a 12-year contract, but then something happened, and they kicked me out. So I had to find a second option what I'm doing. And yeah, my uncle was working in Mercedes Benz, also my grandpa. So I'm kind out of an Mercedes Benz family. Let's say it like this.
Generation past generation.
Yeah, and one day my uncle was asking me like, "Hey, don't you want to apply for an apprenticeship in Mercedes?" And I said, "Yeah, why not?" So I applied. They took me. I started my apprenticeship there, and later on I was working in the production area as a normal production line employee for around 1 year. And then I decided, okay, no, this is definitely not my life. I always knew this, but I wanted to see how it is to be a production worker.
Okay.
So yeah, I decided, no, I will go to the technician school, which is like, it's kind of a study, but yeah, it's not really like 3 years. There's a table in Germany, and this tells you the different levels of skills you have. So the technician school I went to has the same level in this table like in master degree. I don't know if it's true, but this is what they say.
Okay.
So that's the reason why I was in a project later on in Mercedes Benz after I finished this technician school, and I think I was doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So my boss asked me like, "Hey, do you want to have like an engineer job in my team?" And I said, "Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely not going back to line."
Right.
So I was running some projects over there in Germany, and then one day my highest boss came to me and said like, "Hey, you have potential, and I want to push you and support you. So there's the chance for you to go to Mexico and support this project with your knowledge."
Okay.
And there was not much to think about. I directly said, "Yeah, let's do it." And 2 weeks later, I was already in the airplane heading to Mexico to have my look and see trip to see if I really like it here, if I can see myself here in this culture.
Right. And so what do you think about being here now? Has this changed your outlook on life, and what do you want, or are you still similar to how you were before you came?
No. Mexico was the game changer for my life. Let's say it like this. Yeah, was the game changer.
What's that?
I mean, I learned a lot from the Mexicans, because Mexicans, they are just enjoying life. And we Germans, the society is telling you this story like, go to school, go to university, start a job, get married, have 2 kids, buy a house. That's it. I mean, my generation is different, but this is still like kind of the mindset in the society over there. And that's why we Germans are so structured and focused. And I was also kind like that. And the Mexicans showed me like, hey, bro, relax more. Let's go out for fiesta. Let's yeah. And they are going out much. So we started to go out on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. So I learned from them, like, not only being focused and working, enjoying life more, because there's so much to enjoy.
There's so much of a balance, right?
Yeah.
I think so. And so you were saying how you came from a generation of Mercedes Benz engineers and workers. So how is that? How is that? Do you feel that it was good for you, or do you feel that you would have liked to have more freedom in choosing your path? Or do you feel that it's a great thing that kind of path? Do you feel like it was chosen for you, or do you feel that you chose this, or some kind of mix?
I think no, I choose it definitely, or I chose it, and I really love my job, but the last month, or I would say the last 1.5 years, I realized there's something else inside of me, yeah, I want to work more with people.
Okay.
I mean, my job is super technical, so yeah.
Yeah, I feel that a lot of people, even in the States and in other places around the world, people are kind of having this this drive, this feeling inside that they're not satisfied with the regular mundane lifestyle of going to work, the 9 to 5, the jobs, which is okay. I mean, if that's what you're into and that's what you like to do, that's great. But I also feel that in the sense that, you know, you have this feeling now that ever since you came into to Mexico, and you're seeing that, hey, you know, there's more to life than just, you know, what you were told and what you were raised to have. And the reason I asked about whether you chose or not is because, you know, what if your, you know, your parents or your friends or your family would have showed you, hey, maybe let's develop your people skills, because this is what you're saying you're really into now. So maybe if you were given that opportunity to show, hey, you can also work with people and do maybe volunteer projects or do some kind of other stuff, maybe you would have geared more towards that instead of more towards what your family kind of does. Do you feel that's the case or not?
Yeah, could be. I mean, Mercedes Benz was definitely like my last option. Let's say it like this. I mean, as we talked before, I did a lot of bullshit in my past when I was younger, when I was a teenager. So
let's hear some about that. Let's hear some about this bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty much a normal kid until I was 10.
Okay.
And then my parents,
downhill.
Yeah, like everything was falling apart. My parents got divorced when I was 10. And I would say like the first 2 years, I didn't realize that I changed. I was still too young. But then with 12, 13, around that age, I was starting to do a lot of bullshit. Like, yeah, a lot of alcohol, girls, drugs.
At 13?
No. But I mean, I started with alcohol. I was always hanging out with older guys. I had always older friends. And yeah, I was starting to go to clubs when I was 14 with a fake ID and all that stuff. And a lot of alcohol, drug experiences, a lot of girls, a lot of fights on the street. I was an ice hockey player, so I was super aggressive, fighting a lot of problems with the police. Yeah, so this was like the start of my bad career I had in the past.
Yeah, the drinking age in Germany is what?
The what?
Drinking alcohol.
You can start with 16. You have permission with 16, but only like the light stuff like beer, wine. And with 18, you can have hard liquor. The hard stuff, the hard liquor.
So at 16, you're allowed to go somewhere at a bar and drink beer.
Exactly, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's different in Germany. It's not like 21 like in the States.
Right.
Yeah.
16 drinking beer.
Yeah.
What is that? What do you think about that?
To be honest, I mean, everything is about balance in life. So for sure, it's good to have your experience with alcohol. But I think many guys do a lot of bullshit because they don't have it under their control. They are too young to decide, and I mean, I see myself. I lost my driver's license because I was driving super drunk, and I did a lot of bullshit, and but I don't see it like mistakes. This was part of my journey, part of my path. So that made me the person I am right now. So everything is like, yeah.
Do you think that having a young drinking age helps you mature faster or brings things closer, or as opposed to maybe in the States, where drinking age is 21, you still have that feeling where you haven't made it yet, or you haven't had the opportunity to drink alcohol, and now that you're 21 you can drink, so you're still kind of maturing, and you don't really have that experience, so you're taking alcohol illegally and parties at places, and you can't go out, and you feel like you're treated as a kid, whereas opposed to in Europe and in Germany, where you're allowed to have alcohol at 16, at 18, hard liquor, so you feel more, oh, I'm given the responsibility.
Yeah, I think it's like with everything in the world, when you don't have permission or it's illegal, it's more interesting. So maybe you do it like in the background or illegal, like you said. So I think when you see it from that point, that it's good to grow or to have better responsibility for drinking, I think it's the better model in Germany, because you learn how to handle, and it's not forbidden. So you maybe have the responsibility for doing it, but for sure there are also black sheeps, and they do a lot of bullshit, or they don't have it under their control. So I think I'm the wrong guy to judge this, bro.
No, yeah, I think you're the right guy, because also, even though it is allowed to do it legally in Germany and it's not allowed in the States, people still are going to do it anyway. Kids are still going to find alcohol anyway, and they're going to do it, and they're going to do it mischievously. I don't know if that's a word, but they're going to do it behind people's back, and they're going to try to do things that are not the right way. Whereas opposed to if you just say, hey, okay, well, all right, here you are, you're 16 years old. Maybe you're not ready physically to handle this, but you have the option to do it. It's your responsibility now. I mean, it's crazy how in the States at 18 you can sign up to go to the military and go to war, but you're not allowed to drink alcohol at 18. You can go hold the gun and kill someone in another country, but yet you're not allowed to put a substance into your body.
It's pretty funny that you mentioned this now, because I was talking about exactly the same topic with a guy from the States some days ago, or like a week ago. I don't understand this point, really. I don't get it. Why you can enter the military service there, but you are not allowed to drink alcohol. I mean, in my opinion, when you are 16 and you don't have personal problems like I had, because I'm sure I was drinking a lot and doing this drug stuff because I had personal problems. I never overcame the divorce of my parents.
Okay.
So I think then it's not good that you are allowed to drink in this age.
Right.
But when you are like a normal teenager without having a lot of personal problems, I think.
Yeah, right. So in your sense,
no
you had, when you were drinking alcohol, it was more to fill a void, to escape, instead of being able to deal with the situation with your parents or with whatever you were going through. You were using alcohol maybe as an escape.
Yeah. I'm pretty much sure that's it. I mean, I was reflecting a lot the last weeks, the last 6 weeks when I was here, and I think I tried to escape. But also like the benefits you're having when you are drinking alcohol, feeling more self-confident, going over to people and being like super connective and all that stuff.
Social as a social lubricant.
Yeah. Because I was never shy, but I was like a super reserved guy, let's say it like this. And I was hurted by all the stuff that happened to me by my parents. So I was never like super self-confident going over and talking with people. I was always like, don't do anything to me. I'm already hurted what my parents did. Yeah, I think I used it as a tool or as a gadget to be more the social guy or whatever.
Right. So what was it about that your parents, that you felt uncomfortable approaching people and talking to them?
I mean, this was also like caused by mindset, because in Germany I talked with my grandpa about this like a year ago, and I asked him, hey, why the Mexicans are so outgoing and Germans are like super reservated and like super trying to be not like the center of attention. And he told me like, look, after the Second World War, the Germans had this, he called it Nazi guilt. Like, yeah, they teach their kids, like the generation of my mom and also my mom then to my generation, like, hey, calm down, don't be like the center of attention, don't shout and be super noisy and all that stuff. We were trained or programmed to be more like not the center of attention. And I think that's it, why Americans or the guys from the States, they are like super outgoing, like super connective, like, hey, what's up, bro? Where are you from? Germans are not like this. So this is, no, unfortunately not. I mean, I became this person right now because I'm surrounded by super great Mexicans and also guys from all over the world now. But it was pretty much weird for me, like staying in the supermarket in the lane and someone behind you is like, hey bro, where are you from? This is not how we Germans are. I mean, this is the normalest thing in the world.
Right.
Yeah, but we are trained or programmed to be more like, okay, don't talk to strange people or to foreigners, and yeah. And this is what my mom always told me, because I remember I was like a super outgoing little kid, and always when I was talking to strangers, my mom was like, hey, don't bother them, don't take their time away or whatever. So I think this is kind of topic in my mindset.
So with this, was what you're saying, the Nazi guilt or stuff like that, what are you taught about this era in history? Like, what is, because I know different countries teach history differently based off their own perspective and their own view. For example, in the United States, we're taught that World War II, you know, we were kind of the ones that went in D-Day and helped, you know, stop Hitler and all these things. But then if you go to a place like Russia, and in their history, actually, they were the ones that the U.S. was just a small part of it, and Russia was the one that came in and sacrificed millions of soldiers and freed and liberated Europe from oppression. So you have these two different angles, two different views, and every country has their own view in history. What's Germans' view on World War II?
What is the view on it? To be honest, I was not really interested in history. I mean, I know the whole story about the war. This is what they teach us in school and when you talk to your grandparents or stuff like this. But I think it's how you explain it. When I talk to my Russian friends I'm having, they exactly say what you said right now. Like, yeah, we were the ones. When I talk to guys from the States, they say it. So I think it's like with everything in the world, the truth is somewhere in the middle.
But what is it? Do you remember, like, what is it that that you learned? I mean, what's the German side? What's your side? I mean, you're probably gonna have a view where, you know, you feel this guilt or this shame. But what is it that you can remember from what you were taught? I mean, I'm sure you were
from school.
From school, yeah.
I mean, the First World War and the Second World War, they are kind of like in correlation. So for sure, everything was against Jewish people and starting to make his crazy plans becoming true. Hitler. I mean, he was a crazy guy, I think. He had these crazy ideas to have this big Germania and how he called it. And yeah, so if you ask me, this was a time when people were controlled by propaganda a lot, and I don't know if they really were thinking about what they are doing or where they are in. I mean, they killed so much people back in the days, and I'm like, what the fuck? Only to realize his crazy plan to have Germania and all those crazy things ongoing. So
What's that? Germania.
This is like how he called his. He wanted to make like what is Europe now, was the plan to have like the German country, let's say it like this, he had the plan to take over like all the different countries, and he wanted to name like Germania.
Right.
Yeah, this is like the Romanian word for Germany.
Okay.
Yeah. This was his plan, like taking over France, Italy, Spain, all these countries, and then have like only one big country, which is pretty much completely Europe now,
Right.
and name it Germania.
Okay.
He was crazy. He had crazy ideas, and to be honest, I don't identify myself with this Second World War, because my generation is the first generation, I think, who starts right now to say, hey, come on, guys, this is almost 100 years ago, and we should stop following all those things or the mindset that our grandparents and parents teached us, because those are limits for us. They are limiting in us. Like, yeah, as I told you, like, don't go over and talk to strange people. Don't be super noisy. Germans actually don't dance much. This is
Yeah.
we try to avoid like being really the center of attention.
Really.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
yeah, I can definitely see that as a limiting way of thinking and being. And it's super interesting because I have gone to Germany, but I only went to Berlin, and I feel like that's not really Germany. That's like
No.
Berlin.
Berlin is different.
Yeah, it's totally different. But it's amazing because I meet so many Germans, and Germans are every country I've ever been to. I always run into German people traveling, and they're the coolest. They're the coolest people. But it's because they are traveling and they're outside of Germany, and they're seeing how relaxed they can actually be. So you have this strictness, but then once you're out, you can see, hey, no, I can be cool. I can have fun. But I definitely want to go to Germany and see what you're talking about how maybe in Frankfurt or in other places of Germany where people are more, like you say, because Berlin was definitely not Germany. Berlin is
it's international.
It's international.
It's a crazy city. It's my favorite city in Germany. I love Berlin.
I love Berlin. Yeah.
And the guys from Berlin, they are super different. We have a saying, or we say in Germany, they have their heart on the tongue. So they are telling you like, they are super direct. They tell you either, hey, you are a super nice guy, I love you.
Yeah.
But they can also tell you like, hey, I don't like you.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. Get the fuck out of my way.
So what do you think that is? Are people from Berlin actually from Berlin, or do a lot of people just migrate there, or are they're German? They're mostly is it mostly a German population? What is it?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a German population there.
But what is it why is it so different from other parts of Germany?
Berlin is the capital city of Germany, so you have a lot of international guys there.
Okay.
And I think that's the reason why they are like super open-minded. I really don't know what it is, but Berlin people always have been like that. Maybe because it was split in two parts.
Okay.
And they are mixed right now with a lot of, and they had different systems like the communism and also democracy. So maybe it's kind of mix of that they are super international. I mean, like New York is also a place where what is super international. You have a lot of different cultures there. So I think that's the reason why Berlin is so different.
Or maybe when you do go to Berlin, since it is international and you are German, so you come from another part of Germany where it's from Munich or Frankfurt or wherever, and then you have this strict mindset of no, you can't be yourself and you have to be very limited in your way of thinking, and then you go to a place like Berlin and then you see all these international people and they're all mixing together, and there's a free flow of ideas, and there's music and there's love and there's just being yourself. No one's judging you, and if you want to dress however you want to dress, and you say to yourself, wow, I can be like this, and then you go from the strict mindset and you go to be more open-minded and you embrace that even more, as opposed to someone where maybe
Yeah, I think so. I really think so. I mean, I know a lot of friends of mine. They moved to Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from the south in Germany, and I have a lot of friends. They moved to Berlin because Berlin is so attractive. And when you have been there once and you felt those vibes, like here in Tulum,
right,
you are super attracted to Berlin.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think that's also, when people say I love Tulum and it's this energy here, it's this vibe here, but I think it's similar to Berlin, where the reason Tulum is such a good vibe, and it's because the people that are coming here, the freedom that we have here to be in the beach and to be around these beautiful places, these beautiful people, that you feel like it's a vibe, right? So it attracts a similar vibe. When you go to Berlin, people are going to Berlin because of the freedom because of the music and the vibe, the vibrance there. So only certain people are really going there, because if you're not into techno, or if you're not into veganism, or if you're not into just hanging out and being free and dressing the way you want, and you have to see that, and if you don't want to be around that, you're not going to go to Berlin. Similar to Tulum. And I mean, if you come to Tulum and you're not okay with topless beaches, if you're not okay with just being out and being free, and you're like, no, I don't think people should live this way, I hate that, I'm gonna just stay home or whatever, then you're not going to be here. So it only attracts a certain type of people.
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah. Is that why you came to Tulum? Why did you come to Tulum? Did you say that?
To be honest, I think it's kind of that, because I'm here almost 2 years now, and a lot of colleagues of mine traveled to Tulum already. I mean, I have been in Cancun many times, Playa del Carmen too, and everyone said, like, you have to go to Tulum one day. It's a magic place. But this word they use super often here in Mexico, like, oh, it's a Pueblo Mágico.
Pueblo Mágico,
like,
yeah.
magic town. And I was like, yeah, I will go one day. And yeah, the reason that I came is because the coaching or the mentoring I'm doing now, I started 6 weeks ago. My mentor is a guy from Switzerland, and he's placed here in Tulum.
What's his name?
His name is Misha Janicek.
Okay. And what's his mentoring program? Can you?
The name of this mentoring program is Chainless Life.
Chainless Life.
Yeah,
I can see where you're going.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, I told you that before, like, all the things are like connected right now. This is the first time in my life that I really see a connection between everything. Either if it's good stuff or bad stuff that happened to me in the past, let's say it like this. Yeah, and I was talking with him. We had this interview if I'm like really the kind of person he wants to have in his mentoring, because he also say to many guys, no, you don't fit into my mentoring. And we had this interview together 2 times, like a Zoom call, 1 hour. And I told him, like, yeah, I'm living here in Mexico. And he said, wow, you live in Mexico? So you should come to Tulum and start to do this mentoring here, because the energy is definitely different here. And I was like, everyone says that, but what does it mean the energy here is different? And he told me, just do it. Do you have a lot of vacation? And I said, yeah, I still have 86 vacation days, because I was really working my ass off the last 2 years in this project. And I talked to my boss and I said, hey, I will go 2 weeks to Tulum. The end of the story, you know it. I'm already here 6 weeks now.
6 weeks, here we go.
Yeah, and I'm still, this is so mind-blowing here. I know right now what they mean by speaking about the energy here is super different, and it's a magic place.
Yeah, can you explain that? So what are some of your experiences being here that make you think like this, that it's a magic? Because for someone listening, they may also be say the same thing, right? They may, oh, here we go, another one saying it's a magic place, it's an energy vortex, it's these general words. But what is your experience?
What is my experience? I mean,
like, why did you decide to go from 2 weeks to 6 weeks? Like, what was these events that occurred, these things that happened to you?
Yeah, I had crazy experiences here,
okay,
but only good experiences.
Like,
I mean, for sure, the vibes here, they are definitely different. And I mean, vibes you cannot really describe. You have to feel them. So
right.
I was 4 nights in Playa del Carmen before I came to Tulum. And you have been to Playa del Carmen. So Playa del Carmen is like definitely a different type of Caribbean side than Tulum. So I had those Playa del Carmen vibes, and I came directly in the evening here to the hotel zone of Tulum, and I felt this energy, like how it smells here. The people, everyone is smiling, only vibrating on a super high level. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? this is exactly the place I want to stay.
Right.
So yeah, and then also for sure, every day you are in touch with people, and everyone has the same topics. Everything here is about self-finding trips, spirituality, veganism. Everyone is super into psychedelics, like those kind of experiences, ayahuasca and that stuff.
What's your experience with psychedelics?
To be honest, I was super against drugs the last years because of my drug past and my history. And I was dating a girl like 6 months ago, and she was into psychedelics, but there was no interest for me in it. So that's the reason why we broke up, because she was like doing LSD, doing ayahuasca, and I felt like, no. But I never knew why this is like a trigger for me. And the day we broke up was actually my birthday, 1st of February. Yeah, I had a panic attack when I was with her, and I never knew why. And I was talking with my mom, and she said, "Oh, Philip, I don't know, but this girl is not good for you. You should break up with her." And this is what I did. And the same day I was super down, was my birthday, and I started to Google psychedelics, ayahuasca, and I found a video on YouTube of my mentor, Misha Janicek. I knew him already from the past because he's a vegan athlete in Germany. He was like kind of those fitness Instagrammers.
Okay.
And he changed a lot. He's not anymore this fitness, healthy lifestyle coach. He's more like a mentor on the spiritual side.
Right.
And I found this video. It was 3 hours, and he was in Costa Rica speaking about his experience with psychedelics, with ayahuasca. And I was like, fuck. I always saw it like a drug when my ex-girlfriend Fedra was speaking about it. But no, right now I see it like, maybe it's not the correct word, but I would say it's like kind of medicine who helps you to make a better connection with your brain.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point of what you're saying, that people, when they hear the word drug, that, psychedelics is a drug, ayahuasca is a drug, these mushrooms are drugs. But no, a lot of people here, when they use to describe what we're taking, they describe it as medicine.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, you with all the drugs, with all those kind of things, you can do bad stuff.
Of course.
But in case you use it correct, it helps you a lot. And I was like super contra against all those synthetic things like LSD. Okay, ayahuasca is not synthetic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was super against them. And yeah, then I had a super crazy experience here.
Tell us about it.
I mean, I was out for 2 days straight, drinking a lot of alcohol with a girl, having a lot of fun this weekend. But she was such a toxic girl, and she also fucked my brain a lot. So my friends told me like, okay, let's go to a beach club. And we went to a beach club. I was super down, no energy, super bad vibes. And I was just sitting there after 2 days drinking straight and was sipping on my wine. And then there was coming over a girl, a super, super interesting, pretty, beautiful girl. And she said things like, "Hey, you attracted me." And I was like, "What? Really? I mean, my energy level is so down. What attracted you?"
Like,
and
you're like, "What is she selling?"
I was like, "Yeah,
what's your deal?
It was kind of weird because I was like, what the fuck is going on?"
Right.
And I doubted what she said. Mm-hmm. And she said like, "Wow, your eyes, and I see something in your eyes." And we started to talk. And I asked her, "What are you doing here? Where are you from?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm from Mexico City. I'm here also some days to find myself again." And yeah, we started to talk, and she told me she's a shaman in ayahuasca.
She's a shaman.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And I was like, whoa, interesting.
Buckle up.
So we started to talk like 4 hours straight about life, about everything, and she was so inspiring for me. She was such a wise person, and her vibes, they were like, wow, I never felt this before. And I don't know why I didn't have any boundaries, and I told her all my life story in those 4 hours. And she said, "Honey, you know what, today is your day. I don't know why, but I feel something with you and I want to help you. So you can go with me to my hotel. It's a super nice hotel with their own cenote, and we can sit outside and I will help you to have your first experience with psychedelics. And she asked me if we either want to do shrooms or LSD. And yeah, I decided to try LSD with her. I was kind of nervous,
Right.
but I don't know why. I felt super comfortable with her. And after 5 minutes, I was not nervous anymore. And we took it and we were sitting outside and she guided me the whole night on this, let's say it like trip.
Journey, yeah.
I mean, I always saw it like a drug when you are going to techno festivals because of all the things you see then. But what she actually was doing is like guiding me with a lot of deep questions about myself, my family structure, about my mother, about all those things combined with psychedelic musica. I think you know this, like music in the background, and I was hearing this music and I was listening to the lyrics and I was like, fuck, this was so mind-blowing because I was in a flow and I realized so much stuff about myself with her questions, because she was like, it was like an onion. She was putting away part for part, like going into the core.
Peeling away the layers.
Yeah, exactly. So she started like super on the outside, and then the questions became more going to the inside. I had to open myself more. But yeah, as I told you, there were no boundaries because I felt so comfortable with her, and I never talked with someone like so open about all the stories in my life. So, and she guided me to,
Where did she take you?
she guided me to realize that, I definitely have a very, very big problem with my mom. And this is causing a lot of beliefs about myself. They are not true. And this is what she showed me. For example, my mom told me 2 times in my life, like, hey, you were not planned. And I never, how can I say this? She told me that, but I never did something with it. For me, it felt like it was not doing anything with me. But this girl showed me that for sure it was doing a lot of stuff with me, but on a subconscious level. So I think because of that, I always thought I'm a mistake. And I think because of that, I was always like the guy I was in the past, doing a lot of bullshit, proving myself, trying to impress my parents, begging for love, all that stuff. And she told me like, hey honey, you are not a mistake. Right. Even if your mom told you that, but you are not. And I don't know, this was so magic this night. I realized a lot of stuff. And also that we went out to the balcony and we were looking at the stars. And she asked me like, can you see how all the stars are connected? And I was looking up to the sky and I saw like all these skies were like connected, like from the spiders, like the, how do you say?
Web.
Yeah, the spider web. So I was like, fuck. And then she asked me, and can you see that you are also part of those, of the universe? Can you see the connection? And I was looking up to the sky again. And I was seeing like that one lane, one of the spider webs was coming to myself.
Get out of here.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck.
That's trippy.
I was like, whoa, I'm part of the universe. And she told me like, yeah, everyone is energy. Everything is unconditional love here in this universe. So you are not a mistake, honey. And this was the first time in my life when I realized that everything that happens right now or in the past 12 months, either if it was good or bad, like breaking up with this girl, the thing with my restaurant, I told you that I had a restaurant in Germany, and I was struggling a lot the last months due to COVID. I lost a lot of money. I was not sure if I should go on with this project or just sell it. And I sold it on the 23rd of December. So it was my early Christmas present. And I realized that everything of those situations had to happen to guide me to Tulum. Like struggling for more than 1 year, working my ass off, having this toxic relationship with this girl, coming in touch with ayahuasca and other psychedelics because of her, selling my restaurant and feeling the first time after 5 years like free, because I was always having my job in Mercedes Benz, but beside that I had a lot of projects ongoing in my life. Like I had my own bar with my two best friends, I had this restaurant with a partner together, I'm trading a lot Bitcoins and all those stuff. So I have a lot of projects going on in my life, and I was only working my ass off. I got vitiligo, which is the first sign of my body, like, hey dude, you should calm down. It's an autoimmune sickness, let's say it like this. Yeah, and everything that happened in those past 12 months guide me always like one step forward to coming here to Tulum and figuring out all those stuff about me.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, it's exactly how you said in the beginning about your culture in Mercedes, how nothing is really a mistake, right? When you do something, you say, oh man, I wish I can take that back, or I wish I can change that part of my life. But if you change that one thing, are you still the same person?
Definitely not.
Right?
Definitely not. That's why I told you before, like right now, I don't say anymore, this was a mistake. I try to not judge. I just try to take the things like they are and don't give them like value. Oh, this is good, this is bad, because everything is there to help you, and it's part of your path or your way.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, and if you went back and you did change this one thing, just changing one thing, you would have never been at this one place here, or just sitting down on the beach club and just standing there. You wouldn't have met this shaman lady who brought you this experience. So all of these things are tied together, and I think that once you're ready, once the universe or yourself or your subconscious, whatever, you'll have all these experiences. But once you're ready to actually receive, which probably is what you're at now, at this level where you're actually ready to receive and start this better version of yourself, this better life of yourself.
Yeah, I'm definitely, and I was never like this. I was always like playing the victim, like, fuck, why this is happening to me? Why again a toxic relationship? Why again I have to struggle in my project with this restaurant? Because also the start of the whole project with the restaurant was a super tough time. And I was always having the mindset like this, why again to me? Why this happens to me? So I was playing the role of a victim. And now I realize, no, everything in life happens for me, not against me. And when you change this mindset to exactly like that everything in life happens for you and not against you, oh,
I love that.
That's it, bro. That's it, definitely.
That's such a great way to look at things.
That's it. And I mean, I'm into personal development since more than 12 years. I started super early with 19 after I did all this bullshit in my past. I think like everyone, you start with The Secret, the movie.
Right.
Yeah. After a half year, I realized, okay, it's maybe a good start, but it's bullshit. Only sitting at home and visualizing, and then you have your Ferrari in front of your house. No, it's not like that. You have to visualize. I'm doing this. I'm journaling. I'm visualizing. I will start with meditating. But for sure, you have to also work that you achieve those things and not only sitting at home and wishing for them. Or
wishful thinking.
Yeah. So, but I started with this movie. It brought me into personal development. I read a lot of books, and I was applying from each book one or two things to my life. And for sure, I knew those kind of mindsets, like everything happens for you, not against you. But there's definitely a difference. You can understand this on an intellectual level, or what happened right now here in Tulum, I got it and I understood it on the emotional level. And this is definitely the game changer. This was the game changer for me, that I was like, yeah, I know this already, but now I feel it. And everything that happens right now, and this was so strange. For sure, there happened stuff to me here in Tulum that I didn't like. For example, I lost the keys of my first Airbnb and I couldn't enter in the night. And I was like, fuck, I had to sleep upstairs on the pool area on a sunbed. And I was like, kind of, yeah, this also happened for a reason. Maybe I would go into the room and slip in the shower and break my neck or whatever. I see the things like that right now.
Right.
And I was never like that before. And this is like such a magic tool, such a fucking magic tool.
Yeah, I mean, you slept on the pool with the rooftop with the stars. Like,
Exactly.
That's even better.
I tried to see it like this. When I went out for a date with the girl and she was coming like 1.5 hours later, I was like, okay, let's walk around and enjoy just the Tulum vibes. I mean, a half year ago, I would say, hey, why she's late? This is not cool.
Right.
And I would start to getting angry or whatever. But I was like, no, this happens for a reason. Walk around.
Do something else.
Yeah.
Like, have another experience, have another journey. Just take it as it comes.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, I met 2 super cool guys from Switzerland those days when I was walking these days, and I was like, yeah, this had to happen for a reason.
Yeah. I think that's a great way to look at things. A lot of people, when they something bad happens to them, they're automatically just getting angry and getting upset and saying, why is this happening to me? Exactly what you're talking about, and not realizing that, hey, if it didn't work out this way, it's okay, because there's something else just on the other side, or even if there isn't, that's still okay, just to experience and just be and experience life.
Yeah, to be honest, I pretty much think our generation is super crazy like that, how you explained it, because we are used to that things work. Like, I'm ordering something in Amazon and it's there the next day,
right?
Or in worst case, 2 days later. So we are used to that things work out how we want them. But no, life is not like that. You should definitely understand that you are not making those rules in the life here.
Yeah,
life or universe is making the rules, and you have to accept it.
I think we've become a little bit, maybe not entitled, but so accustomed to things operating more efficiently, more precise, with exactly when you order something on Amazon and it's there the next day, and if it's not there, if it's like 1 day late, it's this is bullshit. I can't believe it. They said it was gonna be here on this day, and it's not here. Or if you're on a flight and the internet's not working, and you're like, man, this sucks. Or so they think that, not they, but people will become accustomed to things working and being a certain way, that when things don't turn our way, we get angry and we get upset and we start acting like kids, like, I didn't get my way.
Yeah, because we say we see the things working against us. It's like I was also like that, like, fuck, why I don't have Wi-Fi here now and stuff like this in the past. So you're directly like, why this happens to me now? And this is completely wrong mindset. This will not bring you 1 meter forward. For me, this was the game changer, to see everything that happens right now has to happen, but only because of the experience right now, what I told you, that everything, or that I have the feeling that the first time in my life everything is falling into place.
Right.
Like all of those past things that happened the last 12, 16, 18 months.
So what would you say to someone listening that is kind of going through a lot of struggles right now with whatever it is? Maybe they have, their business is failing, or maybe they're in a toxic relationship with someone and they're super depressed, or maybe they're trying to please their parents with their job and their school, and they feel like they want to do more out of life, but as most people do, getting out of primary school and getting into university or wherever they're at in life, they feel like they need to please their parents, or they feel like they had to live a certain lifestyle and they had to get it right now, right away. I feel like there's also this pressure of I have to be successful, I have to do this, I have to have this perfect life. What would you say to them that they're struggling, and what's some tips or some examples? Or you're already given a lot, but I mean, if you can, I think
thanks for that. Yeah. Thanks for the flowers. I don't know if there's like a general answer you can give. I can only speak about my example, about myself. And what was really the game changer for me was this mentoring or coaching I am doing at the moment is a lot of shadow work with yourself.
Shadow work.
Shadow work.
A lot.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if you know this German psychologist, which is named Carl Gustav Jung.
Carl Jung?
Carl Gustav Jung. Yeah, it's a German guy, and shadow work is
really
what he developed. And wow, this was... I told you I already wrote like 80 pages in my book here about the mentoring, and it's crazy. It's a lot of deep dive work with yourself and shadow work. So when you figure out what are your beliefs and your values and what is helping you and what is holding you back, this is a totally different state of mind where you are at. And then combined with Tulum, I mean, I know not every one of your clients or who's listening to your podcast is able to come to Tulum like me and traveling around here 6 weeks, for sure not. But I think nowadays you have a lot of opportunities in internet, so you can Google those things like what is shadow work, how is it working, doing like a test about your personality. I did this to figure out which personality type you are, and was also like mind-blowing for me, like whoa, there is like 98% what is explained there true. I'm definitely exactly like that.
Is there a certain personality test that you took that you recommend?
Yeah. I mean, we can put it in the link link on later, or it's free. It's a free page. You don't have to pay anything for it. And also in Germany, a lot of psychologists exactly work with these tests, so they use it. So it's really like approved by psychologists. And it's crazy. It helps you a lot to understand yourself better, because also I in the past was like, I'm strange sometimes. Why I'm like super spiritual? This is my personality. This is how I am. And when you read this, like 60 pages of a description about your personality, what are your good things, your bad things, your potential, you understand yourself better. This was like in the first module of my mentoring. Now I'm in module 6.
Okay.
And this is like a good start, figuring out which personality type you are. And later on working, definitely, I mean, in case you have topics, I don't think that a lot of people have like the same history like me, so they have a different history, but everyone has his own topics. So you should definitely start with shadow work.
No, but I also think what you're saying about the mentorship program is super, super huge. I mean, when we look at how we're raised and how we're guided, we're basically raised by our parents, right? So our parents are our mentors. But as a parent, it's so much work, so much responsibility that, you know, over time you kind of lose, and parents don't really know exactly what to do because they're focused on their life and their job, and they're also raising you. Whereas opposed to a mentor who has this gift or ability or this knowledge and this passion that can help you and guide you. I think that's super important.
Yeah. I mean, I always had mentors in my life. Like, I was looking for them in my private life, in my work life, like always looking to men, because I think because of the fact that my dad was not really available for me due to the divorcement of my parents, or the divorce. So I always was like attracted to older men who can teach me something about life. And I was always looking for a mentor for personal development. And I found a lot, but I never felt like this connection to them. They never attracted me that much like my mentor right now did it. So I would say a mentor is your 10x. You need a mentor which levels you up. It's definitely your 10x.
Your 10x.
Your leverage.
Yeah, I think we have, there are a lot of mentors in like different cultures around the world where you go and you find someone who can level you up. And that's something that we definitely need. I think that's what's been missing a lot. And now it's a lot easier to get mentorship programs with online. You can contact a lot of people that you're into, so you can find a specific mentor for what you're looking for, like how you found your mentor and your program that you're in. And you didn't really have to be somewhere physically, but it's way, way better when you're at a certain place and it's more personal that way, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you don't feel this connection with your mentor, for me, doesn't make sense.
Right.
So you have to be able to identify yourself with him. And we had a similar story in the past, like he was also bad guy, badass in the past. And his spiritual growing the past years, when he was speaking, I was like, fuck, he's saying so much that I also went through. So this was like, yeah, I want that this guy is my mentor, and he was not a 10x for me, was 20, 30x. Yeah, because he's already there where I want to be.
Right.
And he has a lot of knowledge. And I either choose a person who really had like a similar or the same way like I had
Mm-hmm.
than someone who was always straight in life.
Right.
So he knows about what he's speaking because he also was facing those super ugly times in life.
Right. And it is those ugly times if you're going through something like that where you feel like you're struggling or you feel that things aren't working out for you and you're out of control with maybe with some kind of alcohol or drugs or depression or you're angry. Just know that these times are going to make you an interesting person, are going to help you and for you to help other people also, because you're going to have that experience where you can and know what exactly it is that someone else is going through or know what you're talking about, like your mentor, and like you eventually will get to that point where your goal is where he's at or maybe beyond that or somewhere around there where all of your experiences now you can help guide other people and show them, hey, look, I went through this, I know what you're talking about, I've gone through it, here, let me guide you, let me level you up and show you where you're going.
Exactly. And to be honest, I was always like this. I'm a person in kindergarten. They said to me I'm the blonde Robin Hood because I was way more blonde before.
Right.
So I was helping everyone. When the parents left and the little girls or boys in my kindergarten group were crying, I went over, I helped them. So I think I still have this inside of me. And every time when friends or people that are close to me have problems, I was always helping them more. This is what I mean with toxic relationships. I helped them more and I lost myself.
You put all your energy out to someone else.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, it never worked out. So I know already because of the mentoring why I have this pattern, because it's a pattern. Also, like, my relationships always follow the pattern. I was always begging for love, the girls, and I gave so much love, but too much.
Right.
So this is because I still have this pattern. Like, I have to run for my mommy and say, hey, mommy, give me love, give me love. You said I was not planned. So this definitely makes sense. And this is like my beliefs. That's the reason why I'm not... People think I'm super self-conscious and self-confident and all that stuff. And I have a good self-esteem. But I would consider myself, no. So I am working on this because I know my beliefs and my conditions why I am.
Right. And like you said, you were doing these things for when you were in kindergarten or in school to help people because you were showing them, hey, like, I'm going through this, and you weren't really expecting anything in return. But the issue is that you were giving all this energy and you were giving so much that you felt drained and you weren't receiving anything back. So when you do help people, it's not that you expect something, but you're also flushing yourself out of all this good energy and all this help that you also need love. Also, we all need love. And if you're not receiving it from your parents or from your friends or from whatever, it's going to be draining on you and you're not going to be able to be your full potential.
Exactly.
So that's super interesting, man. That's wow. And at such a young age, the little Robin Hood in class, you were you were helping people out. Yeah. And when you're struggling with personal development, when you want to achieve your goal, I love what you said about how you had all this knowledge, you read all these books, but it wasn't until you connected with your emotional part of yourself that you were able to get in gear. Because I've been looking at other people that have talked about this exactly, that they say that a lot of decision making, a lot of movement and things that we do in life are driven by our emotional side, are not driven by our soul a lot. Like, for example, when you buy a car, a Mercedes car, when someone is going to make that purchase, are they making it because they're looking at the price and the safety features and
no, right. Emotions,
right?
We are emotion driven, so for sure everything is emotions. And with this situation that I feel it right now in the emotional side, I know that you can read, I don't know, 1,000 books, and you can, like, trying to adapt all that stuff, or maybe you are successfully adapting all that stuff that you read in the book, but when you don't feel it, doesn't make sense. You have to feel it.
You have to have the vibe. Yeah, I think it's like the books are there for a guide, kind of a guide, but the heart, the emotion is what defines you. It's what brings it all. It's what gives it color. It's what gives it meaning, what gives it purpose.
Yeah. I mean, it's an eye opener when you read a new book and you read something interesting there about personal development, about different views, for sure it helps you to open your eyes, to open yourself, your focus. But I would not say that after you read this book that you are directly adapted all that stuff.
Right. That you're ready to go out and do this.
No, this is a way. And I mean, personal development never ends. This is a journey for your whole life.
Right. And be aware and be grateful for that journey. Whether you're reading a personal development book right now and you're trying to better yourself, know that you're not waiting toward the end of the book for your journey. You are on the journey. This part of you reading and studying, whether you're on the first chapter or the last chapter, or how many books you're in, or where you're at in life, wherever you're at right now, embrace it, enjoy it, feel it, because you're never going to get it back, right? Time is the one resource that's the most precious.
Definitely.
So wherever you're at in life, it's just embrace it, and whatever you have to do to make it better, and yeah. So that's such a great attitude and great way of looking at things. I think that I mean, so many of us, I mean, I've struggled and trying to find myself and what it is that I like out of life. And what I've come to is that I've done so many things, and everything I've ever asked for, I realized that I've gotten it. I may not have gotten it the way that I thought I was going to get it, or at the time I was going to get it, but when looking back at things, the good and the bad, I've asked for all. So where I'm at in my life, I'm just trying to give back and trying to help people and trying to make a better version of myself, so that I can be that guide, that light that can level people up and to create a better part of the world.
To be the 10x leverage.
The 10x. Yeah.
To say it in the words of a trader. No. Yeah. I completely agree. I can give you an example. For example, with 18, I said, when I'm 30, I want to be a millionaire in euros. I made it. 1 week before I turned 30, I made it. I mean, I didn't have the amount in euros, but I had Bitcoins, I told you.
Okay.
And I also achieved everything that was my plan. I have 3 vision boards. I was doing them every 3 years. I made a new vision board. The first one, super much stuff like material stuff, cars, houses, watches, Rolex. The second one was more like things like family, girlfriend, finding inner peace and that stuff. And this one right now is not anymore about material stuff, because I achieved my goal to be a millionaire with 30. And guess what? The day I achieved it and I knew, hey, you did it. Since 12 years, you are working your ass off for that. I felt super empty. Super empty. And I was like, what's next? What's next? And all those things combined right now with what I told you, the past 12 months happened. I was like, no, this is not my way. I was always super into becoming a millionaire, having all those nice material things. But no, I figured out here in Tulum, this is not my life and this is not my way.
Yeah, wow, that's...
This don't gives me anything. I'm not vibrating high with this. And I learned out of the mentoring that this is my ego. This is not my true self. This is my ego telling me a story. You have to have a lot of money, driving your super sexy Mercedes car, living in a super nice villa in front of the beach, having your Rolex. No. I want to be free, and I want to give something back to life and help others. That's what is giving me most
joy out of life.
Yeah.
Satisfaction, purpose, meaningfulness. It's not this material thing. And yeah, a lot of us, we think when we're 18 and we say, hey, all right, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna make €1 million, $1 million, £1 million, whatever, and I'm gonna be successful. I'm gonna be rich. And you spend your whole life, and then a lot of people don't get it, but they spend their whole lives trying to achieve it, and they never get it. But people who do get it, like you, realize that, hey, okay, now what's next? And it's with everything. So if you're not living your lifestyle in accordance with who you are, then you're never gonna be satisfied.
I mean, this is my theory. I don't know if it's right, but when you are not rich inside, you can be as rich as you want on the outside, and you will never feel rich on the inside.
Empty.
So
Right.
yeah, and I mean, money is a great tool. Money is also energy for
of
me.
course.
You can
Yeah,
use
yeah.
this energy in a good way, and having like a trip to Tulum for 6 weeks,
Right.
like I did. But you can also have like a trip to Tulum, but taking a lot of drugs, staying in the most expensive hotels and all that stuff. And this is not giving you what you are looking for, maybe. So I'm staying in a cheap Airbnb, hanging out here in different cheap beach clubs every day, because I don't need this anymore, this showing off.
Right.
For sure, I like nice things in life, like a good home, a good safe car, but I don't have to have these things to show up anymore.
Maybe you feel a little bit empty of
Yeah.
all these things. It just feels like it's superficial and it's like surface level, and everyone is just trying to pretend to be something that
Yeah.
they're more of what they really are, and it's a show off thing. Where in a sense where you come to a place where people are more humble and more wanting to get to know you, a deeper understanding of and making better connections.
Yeah, definitely. They are interested in your person and not in your bank account.
Right. Yeah. If you go to another place, someone might be like, "Oh, hey, what's up? Where are you from?" But it's like, "Oh, so what do you do? And how can I use this to make more money? And hey, I have this business. You should invest in my business." And it's like, hey, like, let's just get to know each other. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. And,
Yeah. But I think these don't happen here in Tulum. I mean,
Right.
I never had small talk here. Never. Look how we met. We were just introducing ourselves, and then we directly started straight talk about my life history, about yours, and there was no small talk.
Right.
So there was only deep talk, and I'm a super big fan of deep talk.
Deep talk.
And this always happened here to me in Tulum. I never was talking with someone about superficial stuff. There were always those super deep conversations.
Yeah, I think people. That's also another part. People here in Tulum, they want to get to. They want to skip the bullshit kind of, right. It's like let's get down to what we're really here for. We're here to grow. We're here to be better people. We're here to make a change in the world, and we want to get to know who you are, not who this exterior onion shell layer is.
Or what your ego is telling you.
Yeah, and bro, we're also here to connect, to work on projects together. And like how I invited you, I thought you told me your story, and I was like, man, that's interesting. Even though for you may not think your story is interesting, but other people might find your story, even if just one person listening to the story right now, and it's like, wow, like that's just like me. I'm wherever you're at, you're looking at your mentor like, oh, okay, this is where I want to be, and you're thinking of yourself, and someone else might look at you like, no, I want to be somewhere close to where he is, or eventually somewhere better, but like I want to go on his path, and I want to follow that.
Honestly, that's the reason why I'm here. Because when you asked me to do a podcast, I was like super worried and like, my story is not interesting. I mean, for you maybe, but I know my story, so for me it's not interesting. I'm more like, fuck,
Yeah.
I fucked it up. Like in the past, this was my
Right.
mindset before, but no. Then I thought about it, and I was like, no, let's do it. Because if there's even only one person I can reach with my story and I can help him, or maybe I'm inspiring him by telling you my story right now, I did it.
Yeah, I think
So that's it. Why I said let's do it. I will do it, and maybe I can help someone.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the game changer, like this shaman was for me,
Right.
and my mentoring for this person.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of putting yourself out there and being open to new experiences, which you seem to be. Obviously, you're on that path where you're saying yes to more experiences now, and maybe this is what is accelerating your process also. Do you feel that way? Or
Yeah, for sure. I try to be super open right now. I mean, in the morning, when I woke up and my ego was again speaking to me like, you should cancel. You should not have this podcast. Your story is not
cancel me.
your story is not that interesting, like he said. Then I was like, no. Why I want to trust what my ego is telling me? This is not my true self, so I will do it. I'm open for new things, and if I fuck it up and I only tell him bullshit,
Right.
I will never see this guy again. So
Yeah.
no, just kidding, bro. No, for sure not. No,
you can't
this
fuck it
was
up.
the intention where I said, let's do it. Be open for everything. This is in front of you, because I learned this in the mentoring. We always pretend to we only see the bad things that can happen. For example, you see a girl, you find her attractive, you want to go over and say hi, I saw you, just want to say hi, let's switch numbers. You always think about, no, she will not give me the number, I will blame myself, she will laugh about me. But no, you should also see, or you should try to only see the benefits that are in front. Maybe it's the wife you will, or the girl you will marry one day, and she's your wife and you will have kids with. So you should see it from that side of of life. And I never did, and this is what I learned in the mentoring. I will only see the benefits in the future. And I was like, in the morning, what's my benefit? My benefit, I will have a super cool conversation on the beach for 1-2 hours with him, wiping on a high level together with you, just having good vibes. And maybe I can help 1, 2, 3 guys who's listening to your podcast with my story.
Yeah, and it's like we always tend to look at the bad stuff, and we that's a good point.
Yeah, fucking perfectionism.
Yeah, and we don't realize that sometimes it's just saying yes to things, just saying yes to being okay to whatever, that not everything's gonna work out the way we think it is, but trusting in the fact that even if it doesn't work out, hey, you tried, okay, cool, move on, next story. Things are never gonna, not that they're never, but they're not always gonna work out the way that you think they're gonna work out, and that's okay. That's part of the journey. If you knew,
this is part of the journey.
If you knew that, hey, you're gonna come here and this was gonna be a great place and you're gonna have an amazing conversation, and it'd be like, okay, but it's a part of the mystery, that not knowing, hey, maybe I could fuck it up, or maybe it's gonna go good, but you don't know. It's the rolling of the dice and the taking the chance that makes it worth it.
You should always take the chances you are having in front of you.
Yeah.
And make the best out of it.
Agreed. Yeah. So yeah, if you're listening, if you're stuck at some point where you're like, man, I don't know if this guy is really into me, or should I do this, or should I open my own business, or should I go and travel and just and go against my parents' wishes, or go against what my friends think is the right thing to do, or what I've been told to do. No, do what you feel. If you feel like you want to, you should stay and should finish your university, finish your job, or keep doing what you're doing. If that's what you feel brings you satisfaction, brings you meaningfulness, then stay, build your house, have your family, do all that. But if there's this drive in you that's asking you to, hey, no, I'm not satisfied, there's something more, there's something I'm yearning for, and it's not here, it's not what I've been told. Look for it,
definitely.
Yeah, take that chance, take that push, and just do it. What do you have to lose?
Exactly,
you know?
I always had a drive inside of me like that, how you describe it now. I mean, that I'm here in Mexico was not my plan. I told you, I opened this restaurant in 2016, and 1.5 years later, they offered me this opportunity here in Mexico. So I was like, fuck, but something inside of me said, like, do it. This is your way, do it. So I decided to do it. I was struggling a lot by driving a company in Germany and having my work here in Mercedes Benz, but this was part of the journey, dude. If I would not be here, I would not be in Tulum right now. So you should always follow those drives in you, and the voice that is telling you something or trying to guide you somewhere.
Right, because we're mostly living in this conscious level of where we've been programmed to think what to do, what's the right path to do, but there's this inner voice that knows more than what we know, that it's calculating way more than we can ever calculate consciously.
Yeah, but you have to learn to listen to your inner voice. I still cannot do it. I always
same.
I'm like, fuck, to whom I'm listening right now? My friend here or my friend here?
Right.
So this is, I want to put more focus on following your intention, like.
Yeah, and it feels like you're giving up control. It feels like you're no, this is crazy talk. This is nonsense. I would listen to what? Another voice? Am I crazy?
That's your ego. That's what I told you before with ego. And this was new for me. I read a lot of books, but it's the first time that I heard. I was always thinking myself is my ego, but no, I see it like two different things right now. There's me and there's my ego. And I'm the guy who always want to do this new stuff, like new experiences, going over and talking to this girl, she's interesting, or to this boy, he looks like someone who can bring me forward. But my ego is telling me then, because he tries to protect you, he's still in the surviving mode.
It's a protection thing.
Yeah, it's a protection thing.
When you say, hey, don't go and travel the world, or don't go take this risk, it's because it's a survival thing. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, society moved on a lot the last 150 years, but human beings, we are still in the evolution are the same. So we are still in surviving mode. And this is why so many guys have problems to go over and talk to a girl and just say, hey, I saw you, you are interesting, including me. I was never able to do this. I'm working on that stuff right now, but and not because I'm a shy guy or something like this. This is just, you are still in surviving mode, and your ego is telling you like, no, don't do it. Maybe you are not part of the society anymore when you do it. You don't want to blame yourself. So that's the thing, and you have to understand this. And as soon as you got this, you're free.
You're free to let go.
But this is a long process, I guess.
It's hard. Yeah. I mean, even with me, I still struggle with that.
But it's worth it. So
yeah, it's just opening yourself up and embracing the mystery, the magic of your life. And you are the creator of your life. You are. But you know, if you keep listening to this ego, you're not going to be able to write your life as the way it should be written.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like you have this boss over you, and you're writing your life, and you're trying to paint this amazing vivid picture and book with colors and descriptions, but then you have this editor like, no, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that.
Exactly. And this is what you first have to realize, that your ego is just there, and it don't want anything bad for you. It's just in surviving mode. And as soon as you understood this on the intellectual level, you can work on that, like deleting or changing your beliefs about yourself that are limiting you. Like, no, I can go over and talk to any person who looks interesting. There will not happen nothing. And in case it happens something, this person is nothing for me, because he don't have the same vibes. So this is something you have to realize. And then this is definitely a game changer. Like the business you said, you should not listening to your ego. Just do what you want and put 100% of your passion in it, and I'm sure it will work out when you not listen to your ego.
Right. And every person that you go up to or that you see is also struggling with their own ego, right?
Everyone
has their own story to tell. Everyone is having their own insecurities. So when you do go up to someone, and maybe you do go to a person and they may kind of reject you, or maybe be a little bit protective and standoffish, that's their ego also, right? So it's not a reflection of you. If you go up to someone, you can be the best dressed, the most handsome person, the most beautiful person in the world. You can go up to someone and they can reject you.
For sure. You
know, it's not you. It's
always about their self and not about yourself.
Exactly, how they're seeing themselves and how they're seeing the situation. And it's just a matter of timing. And you go up to someone, and someone may be having a bad day, and they may not be wanting to talk to. It's not you. It's not. You shouldn't try once and fail and say, oh no, I'm never doing this again. It's just no. If you go up to someone and they don't want to talk to you, okay, cool. Let them be. You go on and you go on with your day, and maybe you see someone else interesting. You go up and talk to them, and they say no, or they say yes. But you tried, and you go up to someone else, and then you build this rapport, and you build this more of a confidence, and it becomes part of your personality. Where now look at you. You're going and you're talking to all these people, and you're outgoing, you're social. It becomes part of your lifestyle and who you are.
For sure. It's also a lesson learned, because you learn that life is not always working out like you want. She rejected you. Okay, fine. This is how life works. Not everything is working like you did the plan in your mind. It's not always working out like this. So yeah, this is also how I try to see it right now. Like, okay, when I go over and there is someone interesting, not only speaking about girls, also boys, like, hey, what's up, dude? You're a cool guy. You look interesting, and he rejects me. Okay, so what? This is part of life. Life is not only straight, it's ups and downs. So
don't let it affect your ego, right? As they say.
And just try to get more confident with getting rejected. That's it.
Yeah, cool. All right, let me just check the audio. How you feeling? Good?
Super good.
Super chill and relaxed, right?
Yeah. I mean, there could be there are many worse places than this in world right now. Huh? I mean, it's a nice office.
So how do you feel about the situation going on right now in the world and like where you're at, and what's your take on it?
To be honest, I have this mindset like that I will only put attention to the things I have under control. And COVID is something, it's not under my control. So I accept it. I'm fine with it. I don't put any value in it. It's just how it is, and that's it. I mean, yeah, it's super easy for me. I'm in a super comfortable situation to talk about this because I'm living in Mexico. It's way different here how they handle COVID here than in Europe, or I think also in the States right now.
Right.
So yeah, maybe that's why I'm super chilled. But for sure, there were also times last year where we were 10 weeks in quarantine and only in my house, working from home. But yeah, when I talk to my sister or to my family, yeah, they are struggling a lot over there. So Germany is crazy right now. They are since 1 year only working from home. Everything is closed, no restaurants open, and I think it's a pretty tough and hard situation for them.
Yeah. So what's the situation like? So everything is closed, or
Yeah.
is it how are people in Germany reacting to the situation of the lockdowns? And
Actually, I got a lot of bad vibes the last week since I'm here traveling in Tulum. When I'm posting pictures on Instagram or Facebook, and there were always those guys with their stupid comments. So you feel that they are angry, kind of jealous, because they are not able to go to restaurants. They are not able to go to bars, nightclubs. They are only allowed to be outside, I guess. I'm not sure if it's still like that, until 8
okay.
p.m. There were times where they were only allowed to leave the house 1 hour a day, but only to do your grocery stuff or going to a pharmacy. So yeah, they are struggling a lot, and I can definitely understand that they are like kind of jealous or pissed when they see, oh, now he's in Tulum and living the life and showing off. But no, I'm not showing off. I'm just trying to make a story out of my trip here. That's it.
Yeah,
To inspire some guys and show them the nice places of Tulum. For sure, I was partying sometimes, but this was not my intention to show off or to show them like, hey, look at me, what I'm such a cool guy. No, definitely not.
You're having a good experience, and yeah, here you are, and
Exactly. No, so I think Europe is it's crazy. They have a lot of rules about COVID. I mean, I'm not the guy who is allowed to judge them, but for me, it doesn't make sense. I mean, you see it here, bro, or
yeah,
how chilled is it here? So I'm asking myself, why is it that strict in Europe? The only thing that is coming into my mind is like, okay, we have different temperatures here. Here it's super sunny. I don't know how this virus behaves with those temperatures here. And in Germany, it's still super cold. Maybe this is an influence, but I don't know. It's for me like...
yeah. I had seen that in Germany they were having a lot of protests going on and stuff like that. Did you?
Yeah, I heard something. I saw something. I mean, there are a lot of crazy conspiracy theories on the way now. When I read kind of stuff like this, it's super funny for me. Like I think you also heard it, like Bill Gates and with his nanochips in the vaccine. Come on. Come on. Come on. I mean, for sure, I'm sure this is always like that. In war, always
Right.
Industry was interested. In sickness, always the pharmacy industry was interested. And I guess there's also some business opportunities now with COVID.
Right.
So for sure, there are some global players. They have interest in having a lockdown and that stuff. But no, I don't believe any of those crazy conspiracy.
Subscribe to those theories.
No. So I don't pay that much attention to COVID. I try to follow the rules at work. I'm wearing my mask. I'm using like disinfectation stuff, but that's pretty much it. I will not
Put energy into that because, like you said, you you can't really do anything about it.
No.
So you can talk about it, you can think about it, but then it's gonna take away from other good thoughts or other positive things that you can work on for yourself or
You are wasting your energy.
wasting. Yeah, it's
Just use this energy for the good stuff in life. I mean, this would how I would handle COVID right now. They are in home office since 1 year. For sure they have more time. Start a mentoring. Start working on your shit. Get your ass out of the bed and start to live the life you always wanted to have.
Right.
So you should see the opportunities. And I guess COVID, or not I guess, I'm sure COVID offers you a lot of opportunities, but you have to see them. And to
Right.
see them, you need a positive mindset.
right. If with any bad or any situation, yes, you can focus on the negative stuff, whether it's you're home, you're depressed, you're sad, but also focus on whatever is good about it. You're now you have more time, you're free, you can work all these projects that you've been putting off that you said, oh, I don't have the time to, if only I had the time, right? So this is why a lot of people are probably also upset and spend a lot of time talking about this and blaming people and being angry, because it's another distraction, right? With all this time that they could have spent complaining about stuff, they could have been working on all these projects that they were talking about, that they said they were going to finish, that they said they were going to start working on, if only they had the time. It's just a way of procrastinating. And
Exactly.
so yeah.
They either spend they rather spend their energy and their time in social media instead of working on the projects, working on their self, and having the same life like we are having right now, just living the life, enjoying the vibes here, and no, instead of that they are complaining. And when you have this kind of attitude, work on it, bro.
Work on it. Yeah.
Work on it.
Yeah, I was talking to my mom the other day, and she talked to my cousin. She met with my cousin, and then my cousin is like, wow, Kai is really living his life right now. He's the one that's having a great time. And the way she saw it was like, she was looking at my stories, and she could have been like, oh my God, how is he doing what he's doing and living in a place at a time like this when the world is struggling and all these things. But no, she was like, wow, good for him to live a great life and to do what he wants to do. And yeah,
to be honest, there are not much people or friends they react like this. I mean, the ones I thought about, they will text me like, hey bro, super happy for you, you're living the life. They were sending me super crazy messages like, hey, you should not post that much about Tulum, think about how we feel in Europe. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? You are only showing off and partying and all that stuff. And I was like, no, I did for sure. I didn't tell them that I'm doing this mentoring here. No one knows that I'm working here 5, 6, 7 hours a day, sitting here on the beach. For sure, this is a nice office, but yeah, I'm doing work on myself, and I'm in this comfortable situation for sure. But is this the way how you have to react to a friend? They were super jealous, and the ones I had maybe some bad situations in the past with, or we were not that cool, all of them were texting me like, hey bro, I see you are moving forward and I'm super happy for you. And this is for me also like, wow.
Yeah, from both sides.
Yeah, from both sides. But from my good friends, there were only bad vibes, let's say it like this. Only 1, 2 were like, wow, super nice, you are living the life, happy for you. Was more coming from the guys. I had bad situations in the past and we separated, maybe not with good with a good background or good vibe. And all of them were texting me like, hey, and all of them like, hey, when we are actually talking, we should see us to have a beer when you are in Germany to talk about these situations that happen and let's fix them. So it was a super good benefit for me also now.
Yeah, that's also an interesting point that you bring up, because you know, when we meet someone, when we have friends or we break away with someone that we know, our image of that person in our mind is how it was when we were with them, right? So you had this experience with your friend and you went your separate ways in a bad way, and that's your image of them now, and you spend maybe months or years and you think that they're the same person, that they still had this image of you in their head.
They also moved forward.
They also, they can also move forward, but they could also stay the same and still have this animosity towards you. But they can also, you don't know, they can also be this new person where they're like, they've changed, they've become a better version of themselves, and they had some personal development. and yeah, and they're looking at you like, wow, okay, wow, you're living a great life, and yeah, we had this bad experience where we parted ways, but we're different people now. We've matured, we've grown.
Yeah.
Let's reconnect and let's see where we can go.
Exactly. And I think actually those kind of people, they used now the lockdown of COVID, because it's funny to me that four guys I had difficult situations with in the past. Like, we had some projects together, and you know how it is, money and girls always are topics that you maybe have like a fight later on. And it's funny that it's exactly those kind of guys, they are talking to me right now like, hey, let's have a beer and a chat, and let's fix this stuff. What happened in the past was not big things, but let's have a chat. And I'm like, wow, I think they really use the lockdown right now to reflect themselves and work on those stuff, because it's strange that four of them texted me the last 6 weeks since I'm here in Tulum.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I'm attracting this, I'm sure, bro.
Right.
I'm vibrating in a different state right now, 100% sure. There's only good stuff on the way for me, and this was never like that before. So I'm still like super mind blown. Like, what is this? This cannot be. In the morning I woke up, a friend texted me like, hey, you won something. I was like a tombola, I don't know how to say it in English, you know, where you can buy a coupon and then you can win something.
Okay, no.
And he texted me this morning like, hey, you won an iPhone 12 and Apple Watch. And I'm like, what? I never won something. Is this... There are happening crazy stuff at the moment, and I'm sure I'm attracting them with my energy. I'm vibrating
on a higher frequency.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it also, I mean, this whole situation, out of a crisis, you can see people that you are close with, how they react. And a lot of people are feeling this, that your family members or your friends, people that you know you've loved and you've known for such a long time, can have such a different opinion on something than you, and such a strong opinion where they can make you feel a certain way, make you feel bad or good, and people that you may not have thought you were going to be close with can have the opposite effect on you. So it kind of opens your eyes to your relationships and breaks away any of these thoughts that you have.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Totally agree, bro.
I think a lot of people are struggling with how, I mean, they're being judged, they're being ridiculed, and when in places like, for example, like Canada, for example. Usually I think of Canadians as super kind, super nice people, but in Canada they're throwing rocks, they're smashing people's cars that are not Canadian, or even if they're from another state. They're like, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. There's these travel restrictions. How could you selfish asshole, whatever. And it's like, wait, I thought Canadians were supposed to be super nice.
I thought the same. It's
yeah, but no, like there's some people who have, for example, US plates in Canada, and maybe some people just live in Canada, but they have a US plate car, and their cars would be scratched, and they'll come to them and say, what are you doing here? Oh, you're not supposed to be here. Go back to the US. Don't bring your shit here. Da da da. And it's like, what? So yeah, these are the type of stuff that is going on in the world. But yeah, so super interesting. All right, well, do you wanna let people know who you are again, and maybe where they can find you, where they can contact you if someone has any questions about mentoring or any of? You also want to talk about like any projects you have in the future, and more projects. What does the future look like to you? I mean, you're journaling, you're doing all these things, and you're envisioning your future, and you're writing it down, and you're manifesting, and you're vibrating on high frequency. What is it that you want to work on? What is it that you see yourself in?
To be honest, bro, it's the first time in my life since I don't have any plans. I always had plans, like always projects, going from one project to another. But my only project at the moment that said like this is myself. I will finish this mentoring. I still have to do 3 weeks more, and I'm sure after these 8 weeks in general, it's not, or 9 weeks, it's 9 weeks with all the modules. So yeah, I will make more deep dives with myself for the next 6-12 months, becoming the best version of myself. And then let's see, for sure, I have some ideas in my mind.
Like what?
Yeah, actually, my sister's also trying to. She also have the same feelings like I had in the past. Like, I'm not really happy with my job. I want to help people. I'm looking for something. She's also super into personal development. Maybe I will do something together with her. We had a super good idea. Like, yeah, also doing a mentoring, but more going in the direction of when you are when your parents are divorced and these special things they are included in a divorce, like helping you, like, yeah, something like this. But it was only idea. It was coming up to my mind when I was laying here at the beach just enjoying life, and I was like, woo, this could be a good idea to help them to avoid to become or to do bullshit like I did. I did a lot of bullshit.
Right.
So I'm sure there are, when you have a mentor in your younger years, when you are a teenager, they can guide you, and then you can avoid to do a lot of bullshit and pay a lot of money for that like I did.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. I think a lot of people would benefit from that.
Yeah, for sure. And I can give something back. And it's not a business idea to have to make money or something like this. I told you I still have my Bitcoins. I would say I'm financial free now, but I still will go on to and work. So it's just about the idea, giving something back, helping people to not struggle like I did.
What is it like? What for a lot of people who want to get into Bitcoin? Can you talk about that?
I think I'm not the guy with the best knowledge. I mean, I'm into Bitcoin since 2016.
Okay.
I heard about it. I was reading a book from an Austrian guy, Dr. Julian Hosp, to get my knowledge about Bitcoin, and I had some money on side, and I thought, okay, let's put it in and see. And I was buying 22 Bitcoins back in the days in 2016. Later on, I was buying more and more. I have a good amount of Bitcoin still, and I started with trading since 1 year. It's also working good. Yeah. I mean, this is more like a hobby. This was always like, I will try it. If it works, it works. Everyone was laughing about me, but exactly those guys are texting me right now like, oh, dude, if I would have heard about it. Last year, I told all my friends like, hey, it was on $3,800. And I told everyone, guys, this is the bottom. Put in what you are able to lose.
Right.
And then you will see. And no one did it. And everyone is like crying now, like, fuck, it's $60,000 right now.
Yeah, I mean, being at the right place at the right time, and not just that also, but being able to have the courage to
do it,
to take that risk, right?
I mean, for me, it was easy to speak about it because I invested in Bitcoin in 2016 when it was like around about $500-600. I didn't spend much for the 22 Bitcoins I bought there back in the days. Later on, I bought some at $5,000, at $8,000. I was always buying when I had money aside. But yeah. So it was easy for me to speak about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was super, I was sure this will work out because I understood really the system of Bitcoin, what is behind. And it was for me not like only making money. I was investing with the mindset, yeah, when I can double my money maybe in the next 5 years, it's nice. But yeah, it was a little bit more like only double.
Nice. A lot more there.
Yeah.
10, 20, 30 times. Level up.
40x, something like this.
40x. That's nice, man. That's good. That's good. Good for you. Yeah. You're going to do a lot of good things out of it. But.
Yeah. I mean, one day I will use this money to be free and will just help other people. Let's see. There are a lot of possibilities in front of mine. I don't know yet. My priority is now work on myself. And I'm sure when I found myself, my true self, I know what I want to do in the future, which project I will do next.
Right.
But I'm sure it's definitely something in the with humans, not
human beings,
not technical or orientated like my job in Mercedes.
Right. All right. I think we're good. I think if you want to say anything else before we close off.
There's not pretty much. I think we said everything.
We said a lot.
In case really someone is interested in knowing more about mentoring or stuff like this, or giving some advices about shadow work, ego work, I think you will link my Instagram.
Yeah, link your Instagram. You could say your Instagram right now, and then also give me your email address if you're okay with giving that out. Or...
Yeah, for sure. My Instagram is SeriousPhil, _serious_Phil. Don't worry, guys, I'm not serious. It's just my last name in German, which is Ernst, and when you translate it, it's serious. So no, I'm not.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. I think it's good for this podcast. We're about 2 hours.
Ooh.
How fast did that go?
Felt like half-hour talk, but still, we were vibrating high, so
Yeah.
the time passes by like woo.
Super fast. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, thank you so much for listening. Taking the time to just be here if you're made it all the way this far, and thank you so much, and thank you, universe. Thank you for being on my podcast, for deciding to come and not deciding to cancel. I think it all works out in the end. So
No,
we're good.
I really appreciate that you invited me. It was a super cool experience, and
All right, we're good.
peace.